My name is David Ames, Member of Parliament for Southend West. Now, for those of you who haven't been here before, welcome. This terrace was opened 30 years ago and I happen to be here. And those who are returning, the only thing that has changed is we've got these flash chandeliers, we've got this ridiculously expensive flooring, we've got these high tables, and the costs for holding an event here have absolutely rocketed. Now, the Turkish Cypriot community has played an important role in our cultural life and in business since people began to arrive here in the 1950s. I'm pleased to see so many of the Turkish Cypriot business gathered in this room today. And I believe it only proves that Great Britain is a wonderful place to do business and we are better together. I hope everyone enjoys the evening. Now, I think we've described it as a Turkish Cypriot networking evening, which means we want you all to like one another and let's get some real business deals. Cypriot associations for the wonderful job that they are doing in bringing a number of elderly groups, youth groups, business groups and others together, therefore strengthening the local communities which are the fabric of our society. Now that's what my office told me to say. The ad-lib bit is as follows. The world is in a complete mess. I've never been involved in politics at a time when there is turbulence everywhere. And don't hold your breath to think that politicians are going to sort it out. Because this is 100 years since the outbreak of the First World War. Those 4 terrible years when a huge number of people lost their lives. Then we had the Second World War. But now we have terrorism. And we do not have the solution to deal with terrorists who have no regard for their own lives, let alone others. So this is a very difficult time, and I feel for Turkey and I feel for the Cypriot community at large. But I say again, we must encourage one another to do our very best to try and sort this terrible mess out. So without further ado, I hand over to Çetin.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me now? Thank you very much, David, and thank you again for hosting this event jointly with us. I'm going to ramble a little bit, but not too much. I just want to firstly start with the formalities. His and Her Excellencies, MPs, ladies, baronesses, the Mayor of Enfield, distinguished guests, community leaders, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you all to this annual reception, jointly hosted with David Ames, MP, and the Council of Turkish Cypriot Associations UK, better known as the Konsey'in at the Terrace Pavilion here at the House of Commons. We are delighted that you are all here today in support of us, and I'd really like to welcome you all with a round of applause. Furthermore, I'd also like to start by wishing you a happy Bayram, happy Eid, and Mubarak to all of our friends here today. My name is Çetin Ramadan, and I am the Vice President of the Ctca UK. And I'm glad to take this opportunity to speak to you today. The Council of Turkish Cypriot Associations UK has been active for over 30 years and is an umbrella organisation representing 28 British Turkish Cypriot NGOs, all based in London. We are the single largest elected representatives of the Turkish Cypriot community in London and the UK. I'm not going to harp on too much about Ctca UK tonight, except to say that in the last 18 months we have successfully implemented our strategy to do the following. We've formulated a new constitution. We are in the throes of achieving charity status shortly, imminently. We support our members, our 28 members every day of this week, every day of any week for the last 18 months, and we will continue to do so. We will also invest in our community. We have invested in our community to create a much stronger foundation for the future. Our work is not over. Over the next 6 months, we have further milestones to achieve, and we are hoping that the support you've given us over the 18 months just gone will continue for the next 6 months and beyond. We thank you all, and again, please give yourselves a round of applause for this support. Instead of organising an annual ball this year, we decided to hold an event, our main event, here at the House of Commons. We sincerely hope that this reception by the Ctca has also given most of us the incentive for others to also do likewise, and hopefully it will be many of fruitful events for the Turkish Cypriot community in the UK. There are many reasons why we've chosen this venue, but principally we want to encourage the Turkish Cypriot community to build a collaborative partnership with their local councillors and MPs in order to engage and influence policy making. That will make a difference to their lives here in the UK and even Cyprus. We are often reminded your local MP works for you. With that in mind, do you know who your local MP is? Do you know what party he or she comes from? Well, it is in your own interests to seek help and guidance from your own local MP, whether it relates to a political, social, or even personal welfare issue. It's your duty to make contact with them. It is the responsibility of your MP to help find a resolution to your issues. Get to know them on first name terms. Make it personal and make them accountable, especially if they want your vote. Now, ethnic minorities. If MPs want to engage with and seek to win Turkish Cypriot support in next year's general election, then this is an ideal opportunity for all of you to start raising our voices. Our vote, to be important, cannot be ignored. If it is important, it cannot be ignored. They want to maintain their seat or want their party to win the next general election, your vote will make the difference. For starters, there are around 300,000 Turkish Cypriots in the UK. We need to make each one count. Lobbying. I urge you to get to know your MP, your local MP, discuss issues about Cyprus and Turkey, and ask for a formal response in writing. Tell them your story and personalise your story, your suffering, okay? The restrictions you endure on land, liberty and life issues. Ask them why we do not share the same human rights as Greek Cypriot compatriots, and lobby your own MP on these points and ask them their views and what they are about to do to improve your situation. You need to ask the questions constantly. Networking. David mentioned our aim is to bring British, Turkish Cypriot businesses, people together on a regular basis within these surroundings if need be. The collaborative partnership must also include councillors and MPs to help identify the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunity and the threats within and to our communities. We all have a huge capacity to share knowledge and business potential to prosper. Together we will win. Foreign policy makers. The Foreign and Commonwealth Office has also been invited here tonight, with whom we have communications sporadically, I'm afraid to say. But that is clearly not enough. We need an equal voice, so that of our Greek Cypriot compatriots, they have an equal footing. They are regular visitors to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. We should equal that as well. The Turkish Cypriot diaspora are an important and integral part of our respective homelands. Connecting and interacting with our very own embassies and consulates in the UK is also paramount to a healthy and mature relationship. Our embassies and consulates will embrace you at all levels. They are here tonight. You need to speak to them. On a lighter note, it's Space Week this week. Now, for those who do not know, it is World Space Week, and if we look into the skies, we must remember that what happens on this little planet of ours is what matters in our day-to-day lives. We need to rediscover ourselves. Who are we? What do we need? In order to write down our chapters, we must take control. We too have a natural place on this earth. At this point, I would like to invite Andrew Rosindell. He's a Conservative MP for Romford. Andrew, would you like to take things?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is for me a great pleasure to once again be with you tonight and to thank our good friends from Northern Cyprus for hosting this important occasion here in the House of Commons. I'd like to thank the Council of Turkish Cypriot Associations for hosting this evening, and particularly welcome the High Commissioner for Northern Cyprus. You may wonder why I referred to her as the High Commissioner. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Cyprus is a member of the Commonwealth of Nations, and I have long been concerned that we only refer to one side of Cyprus in that respect. There is another side of Cyprus, and in the Commonwealth context, I believe that the northern part of Cyprus needs to be given an equal voice to the rest of Cyprus. If we fail to do that and treat all sides as equals, how can we ever resolve the issue? And so, High Commissioner, I will continue to refer to you as the High Commissioner from Northern Cyprus. And maybe as the EU have again absolutely failed to deal with this situation, maybe a Commonwealth solution is what we should be looking towards. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen in this country, only a few weeks ago, a democratic referendum of the people of Scotland. They chose their own destiny. We didn't threaten the people of Scotland that if they went, we would take reprisals against them. We didn't force them to stay within the United Kingdom. We wanted them to do so, but we gave them the right to choose. Equally so, the people of Gibraltar had their referendum a few years ago, and last year the Falkland Islands had their referendum. On the 9th of November, the people of Catalonia will decide what their destiny is as well. And in the modern world, where we don't have colonial powers, peoples, nations and territories should have the right to decide their own destiny. So why should that not be the case with the people of Cyprus? The people of Cyprus also have the right to choose. And that is why I believe that the only long-term solution is to give the people of Cyprus the right to make the choice themselves without external interference. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are on the Turkish side of Cyprus or the Greek side of Cyprus, at the end of the day, if there cannot be a resolution which is fair and equal to all, then the inevitable consequence will be that there will be two separate states. And at the end of the day, we all want to see a Cyprus that is working together, a united. But if that cannot happen, then our friends on the Greek side must realise that this cannot go on forever. The northern side of Cyprus cannot forever be a no man's land. There has to be a resolution to this. And so I urge our friends on the Greek side to work with you as equals, not as underdogs, not as something which shouldn't really be there, but actually people that have a right to voice their own views on an equal basis. Yeah. I would be the last person to stand here and suggest that one side is right and one side is wrong. Of course, we all know that there are issues on both sides. But in a modern world, as democracies, we must surely be able to respect both sides of the argument and find a solution. But if that cannot happen, and there's got to be some time limit on this, it cannot go on forever and ever and ever. If there is no solution, ultimately the people of Northern Cyprus must decide their own destiny, and they will have the right to do so. Now that's enough about Cyprus. I want to say something about Britain. Now all of you here are not just of Cypriot origin, and not just of Commonwealth origin, and we're all proud of that, we are all part of the Commonwealth, but we're all British as well. And I hope it hasn't gone unnoticed, ladies and gentlemen, that this evening there are 3 Conservative MPs here tonight. 2 are called David Burrowes and David Ames, and 1 is called Andrew. And we're here this evening during our recess. We're not at the Lib Dem conference, in case you wondered. We are here tonight because not only do we have this great affection and love for our friends, our dear friends in Cyprus, but also we love our own country here in the United Kingdom. And next year there will be a general election, and each and every one of you must make a decision about where our country is going to go. And if there's one reason, and one reason alone, why I would hope you would want to see a government that is business orientated, that understands that you cannot fund the health service, schools, pensions, defence and all the things without a strong economy, without going into terrible debt, which we are at the moment. We are climbing out of that, and we're putting Britain back on the right track. And so, whatever your politics may be, and I'm not going to discuss party politics tonight, as the Queen said about Scotland, think carefully. Think carefully about where the United Kingdom is heading, because we need to regain our prosperity, we need to pay off our debts, we need to be strong as a nation again, and only by having people in government who are competent, who believe in this country, and who will stand up for Britain around the world can we ever hope to achieve it. So all of you this evening, please think carefully about where Britain is heading in the next 5 years.
Vote Conservatives.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a delight to be here this evening. I love going to Cyprus. I love going to the northern side of Cyprus. I love visiting our friends on the Greek side of Cyprus. And I also love going to our British sovereign bases on Cyprus. See, there are 3 parts of Cyprus, and we mustn't forget that. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a wonderful occasion. I thank my friend David Ames for hosting this evening. And I'd now like to hand over to my other good friend, David Burrowes, the MP for Enfield Southgate. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. It's very hard to follow an act like Andrew. Thank you very much, Andrew, for the words you said. And Maribel, I really welcome you all here today to what some people may perceive is the MP's house, that you're welcome to us. But in many ways, we should all be welcoming each other. It's to our house. And that's the reality of the House of Parliament. It is our House of Parliament. It's for all of us to share. And so I'm interested, any people here, hands up, it's your first time here? Yeah, well, you're particularly welcome, and perhaps particularly those first-timers. At the end there'll be an opportunity for me to show you around into what is the heart of the House of Commons, which is the House of Commons chamber. So if any want to come for a tour, then follow me at the end. Because what it is very much all a house to share. It's our democracy to share. It's one that we can all be very proud of. It does take its knocks. Some people criticise this place, some fairly, some unfairly, but it's important to recognise that we all are a part of the history of this Parliament and its future as well. And so, in many ways, what you're here today, and previously you've had great balls and great events, but here for the first time, as I understand, here the Ctca here in the House of Parliament, that really marks a level where you've reached. And it shows that very much Ctca and Turkish Cypriot community are very much at the heart of Parliament and the heart of its democracy. Now, in order for us to engage, we heard from Chetin talking about what you need to do, and he's quite right. You need to hold all us as members of Parliament to account, get us on first name terms, as he said, and really hold us all to account for all that we do. And that's really important, and there's different ways that you can do that. But part of that is not just about members of Parliament and what we do and engage and get out there, but it's actually all the other groups involved in that. And Ctca is very much part of civil society that does sometimes bridge the gap that people have between their politicians and the people. And that's why it's so important that you continue and thrive and ensure that yes, there could well be Turkish Cypriot members of Parliament. That's what you want to strive for, isn't it? Is it? Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought so. But also, as indeed there are, there's Turkish Cypriot councillors. But what it is also about, it's not just about elected members of Parliament or elected councillors, because what we are in a demos is that people it's engaged in all levels. So I know already there's leading members, businessmen, there's people involved in property, there's health professionals, there's people involved in all kinds of the community, and that's what it's about as well, because it's getting a voice for people in all levels of the community, and that matters. And I see that in Enfield, increasing number of Turkish Cypriot people who are just very much part and parcel of the people of both Enfield and indeed this country, and that matters because that has a greater impact, and that's where we can respond to as members of Parliament. I was last week in a country that is in fact probably the longest of divided, conflicted countries. Now you'll think yourself of Cyprus particularly, but I was in the country of Burma, Myanmar, and I was there, and I was really humbled by just hearing the stories and the accounts of people who've been involved in conflict, been involved in division, people who've been locked up for 10, 20 years. And there's students here today, and the people who've lost their 10, 20 years of student life and now in their 30s who are reflecting back on what it means to fight for their country, to fight to be recognised, to fight to be self-determined their identity. Now in Burma there's lots of different ethnic and religious backgrounds and origins, and they've been involved in conflict over the years, but they're now striving along that democratic path. They've got a way to go, but they're on that path, and there may well be in sight a way that they can strive for what they want is a federal solution. They want to ensure they're united, they're not in conflict. Now, there are a few things that came out of that. One is if Burma can be along that path, with all the wars that have gone on for years, if they can be on that path to democracy, for respect for human rights, and to recognise their rights of self-determination, surely, when we look across as we do Parliament, there's other areas of disputes and conflict that Cyprus surely must have its turn and must see justice and respect for human rights. The other thing that came out of it is the people themselves, because they are an incredible inspiration. They asked me to come and talk about democracy and human rights, but they were an inspiration because they're people who've been locked up for years, who've been tortured, who've been imprisoned, and have lost much. But they were saying to me, we want democracy, we thirst for dialogue. And so that message came off, so that in all the areas of disputed areas, including the area of Cyprus, we must continue to thirst for continued dialogue across communities and with politicians as well. And the way that they realise that has happened has actually not been by the politicians. It's been the civil society, groups like yourselves, who've been saying to us politicians and others, representing the people, don't lose sight of the fact that we need to keep talking and we need to keep ensuring that there is true democracy and true human rights. So that matters to us all, matters here as much as to Cyprus and across the world, which is increasingly challenged. So that's the serious bit. The bit that Andrew and David didn't mention is there's another democracy going on. There's a vote to take place. Okay. Now we have serious lives and serious issues are at stake across the world, but there's a less serious competition taking place in a couple of weeks.
I know what this
is. It's the Westminster Dog of the Year competition.
Oh, this is shameless.
Now, shameless, but these two have been involved other times in their dog standing. There's a dog called Chumley. My dog called Chumley. You're very welcome. You're very welcome to vote for him, Westminster Dog of the Year, or otherwise, if you want to. There's David or Andrew's dogs as well. And it's around a serious issue of responsible dog ownership. But if you want, there is a lighter side to our lives, and one of them is our love of dogs, and you can vote for them. But look. The bottom line is to really welcome you here.
The Ctca is the umbrella organization of the UK-based Turkish Cypriot NGOs. It is an effective platform for cooperation and solidarity among the Turkish Cypriots here in UK. I believe that ever since its foundation in 1983, the Ctca has contributed greatly to the efforts of further uniting and transforming the Turkish Cypriot people living in the UK into a well-organized and influential actor. This has been possible by concrete cooperation and reaching as many people as possible, but especially the young. I am happy to see here tonight successful politicians, business people, community leaders, and young professionals. I am sure that tonight's event will be an opportunity to meet new people, exchange views on issues of mutual concern, and establish the grounds for further cooperation. I truly appreciate the time and energy that President Mrs. Aysun Yilmaz and her able team devote to the works of the Ctca and wish them continued success. I also would like to take this opportunity to extend my best wishes for happiness, peace, and prosperity to all Muslims in Britain and all around the world on the occasion of our Bayram. Before I conclude, I would like to thank all MPs that supporting tonight's event, and especially Mr. Rosindell, that motivated us more to more equal Cyprus. And I would like to thank once more for Ctca for this excellent event and extend my best wishes to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. This is very, very quick. I'm sure you're either very hungry still or very thirsty. So I just want to say thank yous. Firstly, David Ames, who will end this evening as well, for accepting to host this event. Thank you very much. TRNC representative, Tuncalı and Mr. İhsan Tuncalı. Turkish Consul General, Mr. Emirhan Yorulmazlar and his lady, his missus. TRNC Consul Mustafa Beyaz Bayram, thank you very much. The Turkish Under Secretary to the Ambassador, Orçun Başaran, and his wife as well. Lady Butterworth, Andrew Rosindell, David Burrowes, and obviously David Ames. The Worshipful Mayor of Enfield, Councillor Ali Bakr, thank you. Distinguished guests, the jazz trio, who are about to play shortly after I've finished my piece on the podium here. Hey Print for sponsoring and printing our tickets and raffle tickets. The Turkish Chamber of Commerce for their continued support. Thank you very much. And of course Turkish Cypriot businessmen amongst you here as well. All the press, but in particular Mr. Ezel, Mr. Yilmaz Özyiğit, Genç TV and Londra Essentiler for their continued support over the last 18 months. We highly appreciate your support from the media side. And the House of Commons event staff here as well. Okay, I'm going to do and the finally, because the and finally is really about the support we've been given for the raffle tonight. We've had a massive support from our community, and as a result we'd like to remind you that there will be a grand raffle prize draw at 9:30 p.m. The top prize was donated by Cyprus Paradise Holidays. This was a one-week package holiday at a 5-star hotel in Northern Cyprus, TRNC. The second person can go at a substantially discounted rate if you've got a friend. Plus, we've also got a 2-night stay at Belediye Monastery in Northern Cyprus, TRNC, again donated by the Oscars Resort Hotel. We've got a House of Commons whiskey, I believe, and House of Commons wine, and a bottle of champagne. I think if there are any tickets left, I think there are some. I mean, Leila and Duygu, I believe, have some.
Everybody, put your hands into pockets and finish our tickets.
Absolutely. Okay, lovely. Just a reminder that there are regulations here. This is Duygu, but if anyone has. I've just been told that there is also another raffle prize donation from Hüseyin Özel Bey, thank you, from a 4-person champagne dinner, I believe. Is that correct? Thank you very much.
Very generous as usual.
This event does close at 10:30. I believe the bar closes at 10:15 on last orders. We have to vacate at 11. Anyone wants to join David Burrowes, please do, for extracurricular activities. I just want to say thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, but I'm going to allow the last word to David Ames. Thank you.
Now, I just wanted to say a fat lot of good my words to my two parliamentary colleagues were. 2 minutes. If you're going to vote for the dog competition, vote for my two rescued pugs, Bo and Lily. The next thing I wanted to say, if there's anyone here who is fabulously wealthy, please see me afterwards so I can relieve you of some of your money. I shall be buying some raffle tickets, and if I win, Layla, I should not be saying put it back. I should be taking my prize. Smile and enjoy the party.
I'm going to invite the band now. Trio, Atila, would like to...
May be on the floor, yeah, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I go weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrust only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. When marimbas start to play, hold me close, make me sway. Like an ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When you dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me.
That was for you guys.
And on this Fraxon Ultra Classic, Come Fly With Me. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Here we go. Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Lava Land is a one-man band, and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you out there, where the air is so rarefied, we'll just fly starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so very near. You may even hear a whole gang of cheers just because we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. You just say the word and I'll beat the bird us down to Acapulco, but you're slowing down. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they do say. Come on, fly with me. Let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Thank you very much, and good night from us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
I hope you're all enjoying yourself. There's plenty of talking going on. The whole object of today was to network, and I think we've achieved that. I would like to just say thank you. I'm sorry I didn't say anything earlier on. My deputy did such a good job that I didn't want to step in the way. I would just like to say to Atila and his colleagues here, we have thoroughly enjoyed this evening. Thank you so much. This is a young professional man, Turkish Cypriot, Atila and his two colleagues from here, Gabriel and Tom. We'd like to say thank you so much for coming. They were only going to stay for half an hour, but I'm so pleased you took a liking to us and stayed longer. I want you to promise me that by next time you're going to learn something in Turkish for me and sing even if a little short song in Turkish. Yes? All right. Thank you all for coming and supporting us today. David, Ames, thank you. David? Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to talk. No, politicians have said their say tonight. Thank you so much. I would like to thank my executive committee, my deputy chair, Çetin Ramadan, my honorary secretary, Ertuğrul Bey, my honorary treasurer, Cemal Bey. Oh, the money is popular. I also have Hürmüz Hanım here today, Duygu Hanım from my committee, and Leyla Kemal, my event coordinator, who is a very important lady to me, very successful. Leyla Hanım, where is she? So I really would like to say a very heartfelt thank you to our mayor from Enfield, because I live in Enfield, and I am so delighted that we have a Turkish mayor in Enfield representing us. And I hope our politicians will support us here. We do have a lot of issues here with our elderly and with the youngsters, after school clubs, and we personally at the moment are aiming for a building. So we're looking for a building, politicians. It doesn't have to be too big, something in the region of about 40 rooms. There is about $300,000 here, so we would like a nice building. But thank you all again. It has been a remarkable evening here, and as I said, it is all due to the executive committee members and to you for the support that we get. The press has given us enormous support. Our business people. Tuncalı, for example, is here tonight. Always here by our side. His wife. All the other businesses. The Chamber of Commerce. All our accountants. Everybody. I really am very, very grateful to you. We also have the Turkish Federation Chair, Jalanım, with us today. The past chair, Timur Bey, was here. I think he's still here. We have Ali Bey from Azerbaijan. Thank you so much. And obviously our representative, Madam Oya Tuncalı, who has always been there for us. You are an inspiration to us all as a woman, and I'm very grateful to you. We also have our Turkish consul, Emirhan Bey, and his lovely wife, who have been here now for a few months now, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, well, time flies. And we really look forward to seeing you and thank you so much for supporting us today. Your team, Oya Hanım, who are all here. Mustafa Beyaz Bayram, our consul. Mustafa Bey, he's always on the phone to me. There you are. Okay, so thank you so much again to Atila for coming and singing for us. If anybody wants details for Atila to come along and perform for them, I'm sure we can pass your details.
If you'll get your phones out now, I'll just shout my number out.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and I wish you all a good evening. And just we'll have our raffle now. We'll do the draw, and then if I don't get to speak to you again, I wish you all a safe journey home. And thank you so much for coming out in the middle of the week after work. It's not easy. But on behalf of the Council Turkish Cypriot Associations, I wish to thank David Ames and Mr. Rosindell, Mr. Burrowes, and we also have a Turkish councillor here. Everybody, all our politicians who've actually gone to the trouble to come here today, and our Mayor of Enfield, Ali Bey. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a good evening.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I recorded that, huh?
Okay. It's on camera, right?
It's on camera. Evidence.
Zil çekilişini yapıyoruz. Elinde köklerin, çekilişe koyacağımız köklerin olan var ise lütfen bize teslim etsin. Başka rafı tiket almak isteyen varsa sizi çekmek üzere sizi buraya alayım. İyice karıştırınız. Şu anda çekeceğimiz bir şampanya. Bilet numarası. Dürüye Yeşim bilet numarası 1165 1165. Dışarıdadır. Bunu kenara alalım. Çok teşekkür ederiz Ekim Hanım. Sizi alabilir miyim? İkinci şeyimizi siz çekiniz. Buyurunuz Özkan Bey. Çok iyi olur. Selçuk Erol. Selçuk Erol. 1861. 1861. Selçuk Erol. Enol. Tamam Kerim Bey buyurunuz. Şarap. House of Commons'ın şarabını. Kerim Bey'e verebilirsiniz. Oya Hanım, rica etsem. Size fırsat veriyorum. Kendi şansınızı çekebilirsiniz. Ayhan Ahmet 1553. Sanırım aramızda değil. Şu anda çekeceğimiz Atila Bey buyurun. Özer Bey'in hediyesi şampanya 4 kişilik yemek. Şampanyalı 4 kişilik yemek. Yeah. Dinner for 4 from Özer restaurant. It's someone in here.
Number 1790.
1790. No name. It must be somebody here. 1790. Özel Bey'den gelen hediyemiz 2 günlük Burrowes Oteli'nde tatil. Burrowes Monastery'de. Mertdoğan Bey. Mertdoğan Bey. Numarası ne? 0138. Şu anda burada değil. Henüz ayrılmış. İleteceğiz kendisine. En son ve en büyük hediyemiz Cypriot Paradise'dan bir haftalık hem bilet hem de 5 Star Hotel'de tatil. Hepsinize bol şanslar diliyorum. Ali Bey, sizden rica etsem siz çeker misiniz? First prize'ı çekeceksiniz. Kendinize de çekebilirsiniz. Almadınız mı? Bir 100 pound'u verelim.
Fakir olduğu için bizim paramız yok.
Öyle mi?
Ben genelde ihtiyacı olan kişilere çekiyorum. Bilmiyorum. Zehra Ömer 1141.
1141 Zehra Ömer. Bunu ben sattım. Dışarıda sattım. Kuaförümüz kazandı. Hak etti de. Zara kuaför. Bitti artık. Hepinize çok teşekkür ederim. Zehra Hanım esasında bu akşam 2 kişilik bilet aldı ama şu anda burada yok.